All right. Hey, guys. In fact, let me take this over here. Okay. Hey, guys. Hold on. Let me get everything set up. Okay. All right. What's up, everybody? Come on in. Have a seat. Let's do this. Okay. Let me see. Okay. All right. Hey, Seth. Hey, Ruben. Hey, Cassie. Hey, Merk. Hey, Ash. Yay, you made it. Hey, Misty. All right. What's up, everybody? We're going to wait to start just so that way everybody can get here, okay? Because I know I'm early. But just so you guys know, tonight we're going to be talking about step 4, which is inventory, taking inventory. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read it step 4 from the Alcoholics Anonymous steps, and I'm going to read step 4 from the Mara steps. And then we're going to talk about it. I'm going to share a little bit with you guys from my own inventory, and then we'll just take it from there. You know how we do it around here. We'll play it by ear. Did you really hear that bird whistling? Aw, thanks, Ruben. I appreciate the support, man. For real. Well, welcome to our little family over here. We got a really good group of people, y'all. This is probably, I mean, every now and then, you guys, like, I think people fluctuate in and they fluctuate out for for about the 2 years I've been doing videos. And I always do live streams, and people come in and we get, like, we'll have, like, the groups of people that make friends. It's amazing, actually, to watch how you guys, like, get to know each other, and then we all become friends. And some people will come in and they'll stick together, and they're still friends to this day. It's so cool. What? I don't want my name with others. Well, Ruben, shout out Ruben. There you go, Ruben. Shout out to just you. That's a special shout out. So y'all know the tea over here. So, this channel, what we do over here, y'all. We talk about recovery from addiction. And tonight what we're going to do, like I was saying earlier, is we're going to do a step study. Now, before my channel got to 3,000 subscribers, probably when it was a little bit smaller, probably about 600 to 1,000, every Monday night I was doing step studies. And we went all the way through the steps, so we're starting back over. Now, I'm going to start, we've done steps 1 through 3 already here. What I'll do is I'll put those into a playlist, and it'll just be labeled like step study meetings. Okay, so y'all can find it there. What's up? What's up, Chica? I like that. Hey, Allie, what's up? So I was upstairs today. I got my camera completely charged up, you guys. I put a SD card in it, and I was taking pictures of Nate with it. It's so neat. I'm so excited, you guys, to I cannot wait to make a video with it. Like, it's going to be so, You guys are going to be able to see every pore on my face. Like, it's going to be so clear. Did you guys see that Big Lance got a new camera too? And he was testing it today. When I was at work today, I got on YouTube and I saw that he was testing um, his new camera. So we're all making moves. We're all getting, our cameras and getting our channels together. So I'm so excited. Okay. So what time is it? It is, let me see, 6:40. Oh, we should wait. We're gonna wait 5 more minutes. He can sing. He has a really pretty voice. Did you guys see that Big JD from Prison Break Raw did 2 interviews with him? And the second interview went up today. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. Hey, Daniel. I got a Canon. They're nice. I've been called Rich Pitch for it, but they love the pictures. Cassie, I mean, it's a camera that you can invest in and you never have to, like, I mean, sure, you can, like, upgrade and stuff, but, like, once you invest in, like, a tool like that, it'll last you for a long, long time. So it's an investment. I'll say that. It is for sure an investment. Y'all are so silly. Okay, here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up where we left off at step 3, okay? Yes, girl, that I'm so excited. Like, what I'll do when I get that card is I'll go live with my phone so you guys can see me setting up the camera whenever I get all the stuff that I need to go live with it. Yeah, y'all go subscribe to Nick's channel because he really, really did such an amazing thing, help get me that camera. He didn't even have to do that. That was just the sweetest thing. Hey, Kit Kat. Love you too, lady. Okay, you guys. Kit Kat. My girl Captain's been keeping me informed on all the latest drama going on over there in the Boyd. And all I have to say, Kit Kat, is I just can't. You know what? I called it. I knew that all that stuff was going to happen. I seen it. I could tell. And I hope those poor people that were getting taken advantage of and sending all that money, I hope they're not doing that anymore. And this is what I'm talking to you guys. Whenever I'm telling you guys, like, it's so important to me. That would be a cool thing, Daniel. It's so important for you guys to understand. If you guys watch other creators and you have somebody and they're like constantly coming up with a reason why they need money, or they're constantly having an emergency and they need donations, please, you guys, please do your research and just don't be sending anybody off the internet money, please, you guys, because there are so many people out there that will straight scam you. Hey, Jordan. I'm so glad you're here. Hey, Misty. I'm serious. A lot of us want to help, okay? Believe me, I understand. But there are people out there that they would rather sit on their ass in their house begging for money on the internet and have you pay their rent while you're out working your ass off. That don't make no sense. So I don't do that. I've got 2 jobs and I do YouTube. And so, okay, we don't do that kind of stuff around here. So I want you guys to just be careful. Watch who you follow and watch who you're, donate money to and stuff. Hey, Avalon. Thank you, Merk. Hey, Christian. What's up, girl? Okay, I'm so glad everybody's coming in. Come on in, have a seat. Welcome your neighbor. Say hello, welcome to the left. Hello, welcome to the right. Greetings and salutations. Okay, y'all ready? I think I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay. So the last Monday that we did a step study, we talked about step 3, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to here. Let me get my little book out. Okay, my book is literally falling apart. So, step 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. Okay? So, step 3 is like opening of a locked door. How shall we let God into our lives? Willingness is the key. Dependence as a means to independence. Dangers of self-sufficiency. Turning our will over to higher power. Misuse of will power. Sustained and personal exertion necessary to conform to God's will. So that was our step 3 kind of overview. And then at the end of step 3, we had, here's the step 3 prayer, okay? And all of this is, you're going to find all this information, you guys, in the Alcoholics Anonymous Big Book, page 63, middle of the page, and your Alcoholics Anonymous 12 Steps and 12 Traditions on page 5 and 6, okay? Okay. So here's the step 3 prayer, and then we'll go ahead and transition into step 4. Hey, Wesley, what's up? Welcome to the live chat. I'm glad you're here. Okay. We were now at step 3. Many of us said to our Maker as we understood him, and listen, when I say, listen, just like it says in here, it says, many of us said to our Maker as we understood him. Okay, so my Maker is God. That's how I understand him. Whoever your Maker is, whoever your higher power is, that's how you understand him. Okay, so God, I offer myself to thee to build with me and to do with me as thy will. Relieve me of the bondage of self, that I may better do thy will. Take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help of thy power, thy love, and thy way of life. May I do thy will always. So, one of the things that my sponsor kind of went through with me whenever I first started working with her, when we got to step 3, was that every morning when I wake up, before my feet hit the ground, right, I need to, 1, thank my higher power for waking me up that morning. Instead of getting up and going, why am I even awake? This day is going to be awful. I just know I can't take it. Like, having an attitude of gratitude, I cannot even tell you guys enough how much it's changed my life. Just having a different state of mind, instead of focusing on the negative things, focus on the positive. Instead of waking up and dreading going to work, waking up and being like, you know what? I got a job. There's a lot of people out there that don't have jobs. There's a lot of people out there that don't have a bed to sleep in. And we all know what that's like. I remember when I was sleeping on a couch, you guys. And so it's not that difficult to say, you know what? Instead of focusing on all the things that I have going wrong in my life today, I'm going to focus on the things that I have that are going right. I'm going to focus on all the gifts that I have because of my sobriety today, right? Because I'm sober and I'm doing the right thing today. I have a house, I got a bed, I got a car, I got my life, I got my son, I got my husband, and I wouldn't have any of those things if I was out there getting high still, you know? Hey, Denise. Hey, Jimmy. So it's easy to get caught up, you guys, in the negativity of life, in the fast pace. Everybody's looking for the next best thing.
What number is it?
What number is what? Everybody's looking for the next best thing, you know? And so in the morning, before your feet hit the ground, pause. Thank your higher power for the day. Thank him for the job that you're about to get up and go to. Thank him for the beautiful sun shining outside, you know, and thank him for keeping you sober that day before, and ask him, say, I'm giving you my will. I'm turning my will over to you this morning. Please guide me in my life and show me how to live my life clean today. And that's all you got to do is just make an effort to turn your wheel over in the morning, the dryer. Turn your wheel over in the morning and ask for guidance. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. A lot of the times what we do is we make things so overly complicated, right? And I remember this is what this counselor guy used to say to me when we were in treatment. He would say, "You know what, Nicole? It's simple but not easy. Like it's a simple program, but it takes action. And a lot of the times, like we don't want to do the work, and that's what it really is about. It's about taking action and doing what is suggested of us. So let's say you guys, okay, we're sitting here, we're talking right now. We're talking about step 3 and we're transitioning into step 4. And what I am suggesting to you guys right now is when you wake up in the morning, before your feet hit the ground, thank your higher power. And I want you, before you even get out of bed, I want you to be thinking, you know what? I'm grateful. I'm grateful because the sun is shining. I'm grateful because I have a job. I'm grateful because I have this bed to sleep in. And before you even get up, ask for guidance. Say, guide me in my life today. Show me how to live. That's my suggestion. And then, if you haven't got a sponsor, or you're not going to meetings, you guys, really, really try. Just go to one meeting. Go to one meeting in your town. If you can't find a meeting, you can message me. I will help you Google it. But 9 times out of 10, all you have to do is type in whatever kind of meeting you want to go to, whether it's AA, NA, Cocaine Anonymous, Celebrate Recovery, Mara. There's so many different kinds of recovery meetings now, you guys. Y'all have the world at your fingertips. For real. Whenever I was trying to get my life together, I don't think there was all this cool stuff that there is now. I feel like the only options I had was go to rehab and go to AA, go to rehab and go to AA. And I feel like now it's like there's so many different options. So if you're someone who is struggling with your sobriety, or if you're someone who is sober and you're like, I'm not doing anything for my recovery and I need to do something for my recovery, really listen, okay? I would not say these things to you because I'm trying to be bossy or I'm trying to tell you what to do. That's not what this is about. I'm just trying to share with you guys my experience, and my experience is this. I get complacent in my sobriety and I relapse, and it's happened to me so many times. And it happens, I'll get a good job, my life will be going good, I'll have my family, I'll have money, I'll have a car, and then it's like I'll forget the agony and the pain that drugs and alcohol caused me, and I'll go pick back up. And so the only reason why I even tell you guys and suggest these things is because I don't want you all to fall the same way I've fallen so many times. So I'm just trying to use my experience to share that with you guys, so maybe you don't have to go down the same way. It's awesome if you're able to take it a step further. Spend that first half hour after waking up meditating with God before connecting with another person. I promise your day can't be bad. And Jimmy, that's very good. And you know what else, you guys? There's also this other saying that this lady that I used to always do stuff with, she would say, you can start your day over at any moment. So let's say you get up and your day's going great and you get to work and you run into that person that literally drives you insane, and your whole day just goes to shit. And you're like, man, this is just, what am I going to do now? I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. You're going to start your day over. You're going to rewind. And you're going to start over, and you're going to forget that that person ever came over and tried to ruin your day, and you're going to start back over again. That's one of the most beautiful things about, coping and learning how to live your life in recovery, is that you don't have to go out and get high over some little bullshit. You can start your day over and keep moving forward. Have I ever relapsed on Suboxone? No, I haven't. Um, Ever since I've been on it, I haven't relapsed. Now, I am down to 4 milligrams now, Christian, and so far, so good. So far, I don't have any cravings. I'm still feeling like regular. I still feel fine. But um I have had my husband has relapsed since being on Suboxone, and what he relapsed on wasn't an opiate though. He went out and relapsed on Xanax or some Xanax one time and cocaine another time. And he came home, and I could tell the minute he walked in the door. This is over a year ago that this happened, y'all. But he came in the door, and I could tell just by, first of all, he called me, and I could tell by just the voice, the sound of his voice. Hey, Lou, love you. I'm so glad you're here, girl. I totally understand. Hey, Mad Feathers. So, yeah, I haven't relapsed, but my husband has before. And so I don't want you guys to ever think that there is any shame in relapsing, but I don't want you to get comfortable over repeating it over and over again because listen, I have been there and I don't want you guys to die. That's the thing. Wesley says, "What is the best way to remind myself of the pain that was my life in active addiction?" Wesley, the best thing that helps me remember where I came from is one, working with other people, okay? Working with addicts and alcoholics who are still sick and struggling, okay? That's service work is an amazing way to keep that at the forefront of your mind because when you're working and you're doing things with others to help them improve their lives, like for me, and always do this with someone who is like helping you, like your sponsor or your mentor or an accountability partner, right? But whenever you're able to be of service to other people, you see them in their sickness. And so for me, when I see someone else like that, it takes me back to that time. Now, another way that I remember what it was like, because for me, you guys, my son got taken from me. So every time I look in my son's eyes, even if I think, because listen, I'm not going to lie to you and say that I never think about using, because that's a lie. I have thought about using. I've thought about using Xanax, and I've thought about getting high on methamphetamine. Those are the two drugs that I think about whenever I want to relapse or whenever I think about wanting to use. And honestly, I play the tape all the way through. Now, Wesley, this is something that I have practiced doing over and over and over and over again, okay? But it's called playing the tape all the way through. You might have heard of it. If you've been to treatment, you guys have probably heard of this. But what happens is we have this, my old counselor used to say it's a built-in forgetter. So in our minds, it's like muscle memory almost. So we practice getting high for so many years, right? So now that we're sober, I mean, I was getting high for over 12 years. I've only been sober for a little over 4. So those 12 years still got, that's more than the 4 years I've been sober. So a lot of the times what will happen is my mind goes back to this thing called euphoric recall. And what that means is my mind only remembers the good things that drugs and alcohol did, the good feelings, the fun I had. My mind doesn't want to automatically go back to the day my son was taken from me, or the day that I crashed my car into a brick wall, or the day that they found me walking down the street almost butt ass naked. You know what I mean? Hallucinating, and I had to go to the emergency room, and I was in a coma for 7 days. My mind doesn't automatically go there. So, what I have to do is I have to practice taking myself there and remembering I don't want to go back to that life. I don't want to lose my son. I don't want to die. I don't want to be in a coma. I don't want to crash my car. I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to lose my husband. I don't want to lose you guys. I know all you guys know, okay, Nicole goes live on Mondays. Okay, what would happen? I don't go live on Monday. Nobody hears from me. What would happen the next day? Nobody hears from me. What would happen the next day? Nobody hears from me. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are help me stay accountable because it's like an accountability thing. I know that when I come here, you guys are going to be here and say, well, what's going on with Nicole? She's not here. And can you imagine me if I came on here all fucked up and shit? Y'all be tripping. I still have dreams of getting high, and I hate that shit. So Ash, that is normal. Okay, now I do want to tell you that the longer that you stay in recovery and the more you practice staying sober, doing the right thing, doing your therapy, talking to your uh, mentor, sponsor, or an accountability partner, the more you're processing through what you've gone through instead of bottling it up inside, I promise you those dreams will get fewer and far between. But I'm going to tell you, when I first got sober, man, let me just tell you guys, I would wake up right before I would inject in my dream. And I would wake up and I would have to pull my arm up and look to see if I had injected. Because when I woke up, oh, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. I would have these, I would feel like I had just done it in my dream. That's how powerful our brains are, you guys. Um, Big Sid's bodyguard checking in. What's up, C Little? Roll call. Um, so just know, you guys, that like if you're going through those dreams, I promise you, but listen, please listen to me. And I know we're getting a little off topic, but don't worry, we're going to get back there. If you're having dreams, if you're having like mad obsessions to use, right? I want to know right now, what are you doing besides just quitting drugs? What are you doing for your sobriety? If you cannot list at least 3 things that you're doing to stay sober besides just quitting drugs, then you have got to start doing something. You cannot just stay sober through osmosis. You can't just stay sober because you come to a real talk recovery meeting and expect to get all the sobriety from everybody else in the room. Like, you really need to get involved. Start doing something. There's all kinds of things you can do, you guys. I really want you guys to listen, okay? Get into some therapy. Find a counselor, find an addiction specialist, find a therapist. If you have Medicaid, Medicare, if you don't, you can find affordable things like this to where you could have someone to process and talk to these things about, right? Therapy is so helpful. Number 2, free things, okay? AA, NA, Celebrate Recovery, Refuge Recovery, Smart Recovery, MARA. These are all free recovery programs that you can join, and you can ask someone in these programs to sponsor or mentor you, and they will help guide you on your journey, okay? And number 3, there's things that you can do at your house that will help you, like journaling, like coming here and doing the meetings with us, reading your literature. Go get yourself a big book. Go get yourself one of these books. If you don't want to do the AA one, go out and get yourself one of these books by Russell Brand. It's still the 12 steps, but it's more of like a secular version, I guess you could say. And really make an effort, you guys, because, and the only reason I'm saying this, you guys, listen, is because I know, okay, I'm not preaching, I'm not trying to yell at you or anything, I'm just telling you guys because I did the same thing. For so many years, I would get sober, right? I would stop using all drugs and alcohol, and then I wouldn't do anything else, and I would white knuckle it. I'd be in my house like this. I'm not going outside. I'm not going outside. If I go outside, I'm getting high. And I would lock myself in the house, hiding out behind the couch, hiding in my bedroom, not answering the phone, deleting all the messages, right? Because I was like, I'm not going to get high. I'm staying home. If you are just locking yourself in your house and expecting not to go out the door, just give it some time. You'll be out the door. You'll go out there and get high. It happens, you guys, because you're not practicing anything to change those old behaviors. I just know from experience. That's the only reason why I'm sharing this with you guys. And when I get a little excited and I get passionate about what I'm talking about, I get a little loud. So I hope that doesn't bother any of you guys. Hey, Robert. I'm glad you're here, bud. Hey, Catherine. Oh, I saw your heavy bag workout vids, Hitman. I'm proud of you. That's good. Listen, exactly, Jimmy, exactly. And okay, so I really wanted to stay sober, but here's the thing. I didn't want to do what it took to stay sober. I didn't want to take the action. Do you understand? Um, so just just know that everything that I'm sharing with you guys is because I did the same thing. So when I say stuff like, it's not going to work if you do this, it's because I did that. Okay? It's because I did that. Okay? Okay. So after we get through with our step 3 and we're turning our will over to our higher power, right? We're asking for guidance. Um, then we're going to go and we're going to launch out into a vigorous course of action. Okay. And that's kind of what I've been sharing with you guys to get up to this point. Action, action, action. Staying sober takes action. Okay. You got to make moves. You got to start doing something different. You have to start retraining the brain with healthy habits like meetings, reading, um, sober friends, having sober friends over for coffee, or going golfing with your parents or your husband, or watching a movie, taking your kids out to the park. These are all things that you can do, sober. These are things that I wouldn't even think of to do when I was in my addiction, because all I could do when I was in my addiction, you guys, was hole up in my bathroom and shoot up all day and all night. It was horrible, horrible. Okay, so next we launched out on a course of vigorous action. The first step of which is a personal house cleaning, okay, which many of us had never attempted. Though our decision was a vital and crucial step, it could have little permanent effect unless at once followed by a strenuous effort to face and to be rid of the things in ourselves which had been blocking us. So, basically, all the work we did up until this point, without step 4, where we are cleaning out our closet, getting rid of all the rotten spilled milk, all the rotten apples. This is the way my sponsor explained it to me. We're kind of like refrigerators, us drug addicts, right? And when we're in our active addiction, we'll just put whatever food we want to in our refrigerator, okay? And our shelves just get packed full of food, okay? And so when we get sober and we start working through the steps, we got to open up our refrigerator and we got to take inventory, and we got to get rid of all that rotten, nasty, disgusting food that's no good anymore. It's expired. Get it out of there. So we're cleaning the shelves off, right? Those are the resentments. Those are the things that we did when we were in our active addiction that we're not proud of. It's anything that keeps you blocked from your recovery, anything that keeps you blocked from connecting with your higher power, anything that keeps you blocked from the sunlight of the spirit. You're going to take that shit off the shelf and throw it away. Get it out of there. It's not going to stay on the inventory, because what happens if you keep a rotten apple in the bunch? It spreads to the rest of them. So we're taking all that bad shit out, and we're cleaning out our closet. Okay, because that shit blocks us. Our liquor was but a symptom. So this right here is really important, you guys. So liquor and drugs, alcohol and drugs, were just a symptom of our disease. Okay. So we had to get down to the causes and the conditions. So drugs and alcohol weren't our problems. Okay. Like, our problem was us, and that's why we use drugs and alcohol to cope and to change the way we feel. So in step 4, we're getting down to these causes and conditions, and what you'll do is you'll sit and what I did was, my sponsor gave me these worksheets, right? And they had all these columns on there, and the first column said, I'm resentful at the cause and effects. Okay. And so you just go through there and you just fill it out. Now I'll read you guys a couple of examples that I wrote out, so that way, you'll understand. But I'm telling you guys, like, working with someone else who has been sober longer than you, a sponsor, it really is beneficial. And also, one of the things that I learned about working with someone is that when I first got sober, you guys, a lot of the decisions that I would make, they weren't the best decisions sometimes. Like, at one point, I wanted to quit my job and go back to college and just have like a student loan grant thing. And I was just going to take the money and like take half of it. You know how you do whenever you get those grants. And so instead of going and do it, I called my sponsor first and I told her, hey, I want to take out this grant. I'm going to go back to college. I'm quitting my job. And she was like, whoa, 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 whoa. No, no, no. That's not what you're going to do. You need to wait. And she told me, she said 6 months to a year. And then if you still feel the same way in a year, after you have a year sober, then you can go back to college. But right now, let's work on staying sober. Let's work on doing our steps. Let's work on staying consistent. Okay. Okay. Therefore, we started upon a personal inventory. This was step 4. And here we go, y'all. A business which takes no regular inventory usually goes broke. Taking a commercial inventory is a fact-finding and fact-facing process. It is an effort to discover the truth about the stock in trade. One object is to disclose damaged or unsellable goods, to get rid of them promptly and without regret. If the owner of the business is to be successful, he cannot fool himself about values. We did exactly the same thing with our lives. We took stock honestly. First, we searched out the flaws in our makeup, which caused our failure. Being convinced that self, manifested in various ways, was what had defeated us, we considered it common manifestations. Okay, so self will run riot. Selfishness, self-seeking, those are the things that we were doing when we were in our active addiction. It was all about what we could do to get what we needed to make us feel good, so that way we didn't have to deal with anything. You know what I'm saying? And if you really, when you start going through this step with your sponsor, you guys, for me it was a very, very difficult situation. Well, it wasn't difficult, but it was just, it was very, it was reality check. It was a reality check, because then I realized all this shitty, I realized how bad of a person I was being. I realized how many times I hurt my family. I realized the kind of mother that I was being to my son, which I wasn't being a mom. I wasn't taking care of my son because I was getting high. And when you write these things down and you realize these things, because you don't realize them when you're in active addiction, because you're not in your right mind. I thought I was being a good mom. Can you believe that? I thought I was being a good mom. I would always say it. I remember saying it when I went into treatment. I said, I love my son so much. I'm a good mom. But I wasn't, and I wasn't taking care of my son. I wasn't taking care of him. I was locked in the bathroom trying to shoot up all day. How could I take care of my son? So when I go through these things and I'm writing these things down, and I'm realizing that a lot of the things that happened, a lot of the resentments that I have were brought on by actions that I did. I set the ball in motion. I'm the one who basically started a lot of the things that happened. It was because of my actions and the things that I have done. And so going through that, it's like right there you see it just plain as day, and that's why for a lot of us, you guys, when we haven't done any work, like internal work, like this kind of like, this is like therapy and internal recovery work. This is where that healing comes from. Okay, it's like you're learning about how to take responsibility for the actions. You're learning how to forgive yourself. You're learning how to forgive others, so that way you can move forward and be free. And this all happens in your 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th step. So from 4 to 9, that is the bulk of the action steps. And then from 10 to 12, that's just the maintenance steps. So 4 to 9 is where you're taking action. You are making changes. You are processing through everything and anything that you ever did. You're making amends. You're turning your will over. You are building your relationship with your higher power. You are working it. And then once you get to step 10 is just a nightly or daily inventory. So that way you don't get backed up with all these things that you have to make. Like, of course, you'll go through the steps again because it's a process. You're always going to be learning more. So you'll go through them again. And this next time you go through them, when you do your fourth step, you probably won't have as much as you had when you did your first fourth step because you're keeping a daily inventory after you finish and you get to steps 10, 11, and 12. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that way, just like it said, just like with a business, you get this inventory done. This is the big house cleaning, okay? Step 4 is your house cleaning. It's starting fresh and new. It's wiping the slate clean so that way you can walk forward with your head held high and your chest poked out in your recovery, and you can feel good about the decisions you're making because you're doing the right thing today, right? And you do that, you get through your whole 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, right? Which is basically making amends, doing the list, turning it over, saying your prayers, all this stuff. It's like all these processes that you'll do with your sponsor, right? You'll sit down, you'll read the whole, she'll read it, you'll read it with her, and then you'll start keeping a daily inventory so that way you don't get so backed up on all the shit that you could be. Because here's the thing, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to have things that we're not.
I bought a different Minecraft. What do I do?
No. That's not Minecraft, son.
No, it is.
That was TurboTax.
But I want to play it.
Okay, this?
Yeah, I want to play it.
Nate, I don't know if you cannot pay for it. I have no idea what this is, buddy. Okay.
But I just bought it.
No, you didn't. I don't have, Nate, please do not be buying stuff, okay? Do not do that. You can play Roblox and that's it. Don't buy anything else. Oh, he learns how to do the buy-in now. He's using my credit card online. Hey, Tim, you guys shout out to Tim Snow. I called you today, fool. Where you been? I was trying to get a hold of you and tell you I got a new camera, Tim. You're going to be so excited when I show it to you, man. It's so freaking cool. Yes, Carrie, Minecraft. My son is obsessed. So, okay, let's get on with it. You guys go over there and subscribe to Tim Snow's channel, Texas Prison Stories. I promise you guys, you will not regret it. He's got some really, really good stories. Specifically, this one man named Mr. Larry. He did 42 years in the penitentiary, and he's just a cool dude. You'll like him a lot. But Tim has a channel. He uploads like every week over there. So please go subscribe to his channel if you guys haven't already. Hey, TJ. Hey, Tabitha. Okay. Y'all get me off track now. So, okay. So we're doing our 4th step. We got our inventory going on, all right? Like I was saying, you guys, the inventory is a way for us it's a fact-finding process. We're learning about the mistakes we made. We're learning about just all the things that we did and how we put things into motion because we have to take responsibility. A lot of the reason why a lot of us struggle, you guys, and I don't want any of you guys to get upset when I say this, is that there is a certain level of responsibility that we have to accept for the things that we did when we were in our active addiction, okay? So yes, we were in our addiction. Yes, we were sick. But we made choices in our addiction, like going and robbing a place or stealing from our parents. This is what I mean. We have to take responsibility for the wrongs that we did, while we were in our addiction. Because if we didn't, then everybody would just get a free pass, and that's not how it works. If you want to heal and you want to make it right and you want to grow past this and you want to recover from the disease of addiction, you got to take responsibility for the wrongs that you did, okay? We can't just make excuses anymore. This is how you heal, is taking responsibility. You know what I'm saying? All right, Tim, have a good evening. Thank you. Okay, so here we go, you guys. It says right here, it says, resentments are the #1 offender, okay? Resentments destroy more addicts than anything else. From it stem all forms of spiritual disease. For we have been not only mentally and physically ill, we have been spiritually sick. When the spiritual malady is overcome, we straighten out mentally and physically. In dealing with resentments, we set them on paper. Okay. And so tells you exactly verbatim how to do it. It's telling you right now, step 4, we're putting our resentments on paper. And that's your first column. Okay. We listed people, institutions, or principles with whom we were angry. So on my list, if you guys want to know, I'll give you a little sneak peek into my resentment list. On my resentment list, when I did my first fourth step with my sponsor, one of the people that was on my resentment list was the guy who raped me when I was, how old was I? I still lived in Hot Springs at that time, and it was before I went to prison. So I was probably about 24 years old. And listen, I forgive him. I have forgiven him. I want nothing but the best for him. I pray that he has an amazing life and that I can't hold on to that hatred in my heart anymore. But I want to share this with you guys because it's really important for y'all to understand. And Tara. So the guy that raped me and Tara, those were my first 2 resentments on my inventory. Tara called CPS on me and that guy raped me, okay? I hated them both equally. And when I say hate, I mean like if I saw them and I was driving, I would have drove over them. I would have hit them with a car. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't have even thought twice about driving my car and them hitting the grill of the car and then smashing them against the brick wall. Like that's how much I had so much anger in my heart for these people. And I wrote that down. The guy that raped me and Tara. And the reason why. Why was I mad? What happened? Tara called CPS on me. So and so raped me. And then on the third column, this is what my sponsor did with me. She taught me that what we have to do is we have to figure out in what way were we affected by that action that someone did, okay? But did it affect our self-esteem? Did it affect our security, like financial situation? Did it affect our sexual relationship? Or our personal relationships, okay? And these are the instincts. So every person is born with these instincts inside of them, right? We all have these instincts. And these things are affected when we have these resentments. So how basically those resentments that I had against those 2 people affected me on all levels. Every instinct was affected. That's why I think I was so mad at Tara, even though what she did saved my life. And my son being taken away from me is what helped me to open my eyes to get sober. Now, the other guy, the guy that raped me, like, I just hated his guts and I wanted him to die, but that was literally ruining my life. I was getting high because all I could think about was that guy raping me. And so I was shooting up. I didn't want to have sex with my husband. I didn't want to do anything because all I thought about was that guy raping me. It was like, especially after I got sober, because I wasn't getting high anymore and I wasn't able to not think about it. I wasn't able to block it out anymore. And those things are extremely traumatizing. And I'm sure some of you guys have been through these kind of things. Okay. I'm sure you guys have been through very hard situations, maybe not a rape, but it could be anything. It could be, you know, being robbed, held at gunpoint. It could be having your parents get divorced when you were a young child. It could be being molested or beaten by your family members. Like these are all things that cause trauma, PTSD to us. And then we go out and we start getting high to cover up those feelings. You know what I'm saying? And so, oh gosh, I don't mean to get so emotional, and I'm trying not to cry because I literally have 33 people in here, and I don't want everybody seeing me look like a crazy person. Because when I cry, I literally look like I'm the ugliest crier you'll ever see. But I want you guys to know that I had so much anger inside me, and then when I got sober, it was like a torture. Every time I would go to sleep, I would have dreams about this. And so this fourth step with my sponsor, first of all, you guys, combat, yes, Marcus, yes. So it was like a spiritual experience for me to sit with my sponsor and read through these resentments and process through this stuff with her, pray and ask for my higher power to relieve me, to help me to get past these things, you guys. And it didn't happen overnight. It wasn't like I did my 4 step and then everything was um, magically fixed or anything like that. But what happened is every time I talked about it, every time I worked through something with my sponsor or we prayed about it, anything, you guys, it got easier and easier and easier. And eventually I got to a point, you guys, where I was like, I'm ready to let go of this. I'm ready to forgive. I don't want to, and that's where I'm at right now. So right now in my life, I have a resentment against one person, and it's been a resentment that has literally been haunting me for the last 6 or 7 months. And what happens with me is I'll get to a point where it's just like I got to get rid of it. It's eating my lunch. It's like kind of like whenever you see somebody and you're like you see them and you're like, "Oh, it goes all over you." So that's not healthy for me. It keeps me in this constant state of like second guessing myself, torturing myself. And so of course, you know me. I call my sponsor and I'm like, we need to do these steps again. I need to go back through my steps. I need to get on my 4th step because I need to get this shit up off me. I've tried to write it down on my 10 step inventory. I've tried to pray about it, but I need help. I need you to help me. And so we're going back through them. And that honestly, you guys, this is what's going to happen for the rest of our life. For the rest of our lives, as long as we stay sober and we're working, working a recovery program, whether it be, there's all kinds of different forms of the 12 steps, just like there is Mara, just like there is um, the Celebrate Recovery. I think, and then the AA and NA. So there's 3 different forms, I think, of 12 steps that can really, really help you guys. And so if you're struggling and you need support, I really, really want you guys to give it a try because I think you'll really benefit from it. Do I still have anger issues? Hey, Rosie. So, okay. I know you guys can tell I'm a little bit of a hothead, okay? And I've always been like this, but I don't have the anger issues I used to have, Rosie, okay? Now, I don't think I've ever talked about this on my channel, but okay. So, you guys know I dated a guy for 7 years who used to beat my ass every single day. Before I got with him, I was with my first boyfriend ever, okay? And that first relationship that I was in, I realized that I had a problem with physically fighting my boyfriends. And this is like my first boyfriend. I was probably like 15 years old. We got into an argument and he pissed me off and I chased him out of my parents' house with a brush, beating him over the head with a brush. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but my mom is Mexican and my dad is Italian. So it's like almost, I just have like a real short fuse. And then when I was growing up, I was picked on a lot up until about ninth or 10th grade. I was heavily picked on. Like I'm talking to the point where my middle sister, I'm the oldest, my baby sister used to whip bitches' asses for me because these people would pick at me because I've always been I've got such a tender heart. I'm very vulnerable. The same way I am here with you guys. Like I literally feel my feelings. I'll drop down crying in the middle of nothing, I just can't help it. Well, um, my sister used to have to stick up for me because people saw that vulnerability and they took it as a weakness. Well, as I started getting older and I started dating guys, I started I know, see little, I am a basket case. I can't help it. I cannot even help it. Um, but I'm telling you guys, like it was really bad though, especially when I was in my active addiction because I would get really mad and then I would fight. I would physically fight. And then once I was in that relationship with that guy who used to beat me up, I would fight his ass and he would beat me so bad that he would knock me out unconscious. It was bad, you guys. So when I met my husband, I went into the relationship with my husband with that same anger and just like felt like I needed to defend myself physically when I didn't have to. My husband's never hit me. And so when I got sober, you guys, me and Neil at the beginning of my recovery, we were going through a really hard time. My son was in foster care. We were lost. My husband doesn't know how to stay sober, and I didn't know how to stay sober. We didn't know what to do. And so with all that stress on us and just like not knowing how to communicate, I started acting out, like physically fighting him when we would get into maybe a verbal argument, you know? And so I'll tell you this, I haven't tried to fight my husband in 3 years now, 3 years. And I've been sober for 4.5. So I finally got my, I just, like I said, all these things have been helped because of therapy and because of talking with another addict or alcoholic, a sponsor, because I was a very hot mess. And I know I'm emotional now, you guys. I've always just been like that. I hope you guys understand. It's not because I'm unstable, I'm just really emotional. I really do just wear my heart on my sleeve. But back then I was very angry, and I think I was angry, one, because of being beat for so long, two, because of being raped, and three, from that first boyfriend that I ever had. He used to tell me about how I needed to be skinny and how if I would just lose a little bit more weight, that I would be perfect. And for some reason, you guys, that really affected me. So from a very young age, 14 or 15, I was going through verbal abuse, then I went through physical abuse, then I was getting raped, then I got raped. And so all that trauma and abuse, I was going like anybody that came up to me after that, they were going to get knocked the fuck out. Do you know what I'm saying? And it was always taken out on the people that love me the most, like my husband or my mom and dad. I can remember one time when I was 16, me and my dad had went to homecoming because I was in the homecoming court, and my mom didn't know we were at, right? And right, see, little, my mom didn't know we were where we were at. So when we got home, my mom was really upset. She's like, "Where have y'all been?" And I was on one.com, and I was like cussing at my mom, and all of a sudden I just blacked out and went into this rage and started fighting my mom. And my mom would never fight me. Like, it was me. I was hitting her. And that, I am so ashamed of that still to this day. Like, and I don't think you guys can understand. Like, I've wrote it down on my 4 step. I've talked to my mom about it. She forgives me. But I remember how I treated my mom and the people that loved me. And I always acted out with people who cared about me. So I want you guys to know, like, when I come on here and I'm sharing with you guys, like, that my life is better and that I'm staying sober today, it's not because it's been easy or anything. It's not because like I didn't go through a lot of shit. Like, I had a hard time. Like, I've had a lot of trauma happen to me when I was younger and in my addiction. And but I promise you, I'm here to tell you that if you take action and you put in the work and you stay dedicated to your sobriety, that it can happen for you and you can get to a place where your life is improving. And that's what's happened for me. And I'm finally getting to a place where I can sit on a video and tell the whole world about the things that I went through in my life, because you know what? I'm not ashamed of them anymore. And I want to help other people with those situations because I know you guys have been through the same thing. I know you have, you know? Okay. We listed people, places, institutions. Okay. We asked ourselves, why were we angry? In most cases, it was found out that our self esteem, our pocketbooks, our ambitions, our personal relations were hurt or threatened. So we were sore. We were burned up. On our grudge list, we set opposite each name our injuries. Was it our self esteem, our security, our ambitions, our personal or sex relations, which had been interfered with? We went back through our lives. Nothing counted but thoroughness and honesty. So we go back through our lives and we have to be thorough and honest no matter what. Hey, Rosie, anytime, girl, anytime. Me too, Bella. So the main thing with this whole 4-step, you guys, is absolute honest and thorough. Don't leave anything out, okay? When you're setting these things down on paper, don't leave one thing out. There's nothing to hide, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Because if you leave something out, you guys, that something is going to take you back out next time. It's going to drive you until you go back out. Okay? So, it is plain that a life which includes deep resentment leads only to futility and unhappiness. It says, but with the alcoholic whose hope is the maintenance and growth of a spiritual experience, this business of resentment is infinitely grave. We found that it is fatal, for when harboring such feelings, we shut ourselves off from the sunlight of the spirit. The insanity of alcohol returns and we get high or get drunk again. And with us, to drink or to use is to die. Okay? So don't hide anything. Put it all down. Don't repress it. Don't hide it. Don't keep it a secret. Don't put it in your back pocket. Get it all out. I'm talking just bleh, word vomit everywhere. Get it all out, you guys, because secrets do what? Secrets keep us sick. Okay? And that sickness, you don't want to keep that hidden away. Get it out. There's no shame. Do not let your mind and your addicted brain, because that's what you're dealing with right now. If you're just now getting your life together, you're just getting sober, you guys, you're still dealing with your addicted brain. All right. And your addicted brain is going to tell you to keep secrets, to not tell anybody, that you're not good enough, that you don't need to ask for help, that you can do this on your own. Do not listen to your brain. Your brain is sick right now. Listen to someone else who's been there, who knows what they're talking about, and follow directions and take suggestions. I'm telling you guys, if you'll just take suggestions, your life will change. Okay. They may be the dubious, okay, so resentments may be the dubious luxury of normal men, but for alcoholics and addicts, these things are poison. Poison. And you know what they say about resentments, you guys? It's like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Yes, Daniel, leaving something out is, it's just, you're good, it's going to eat you alive because you're the only one that's going to know it, and then you're going to go over and over it in your mind over and over again. Honesty and thoroughness, okay? Okay. So, I'll tell you this much, you guys. With a lot of things, it's behind fear. Okay? Fear is what keeps us, a lot of the times, a lot of the things that we run off of, the emotions are fear. Okay? Fear of the unknown, fear of not being accepted, fear of being alone, fear of being not loved, fear of being abandoned. All these things are fear-based emotions, right? Just know this, all right? You guys are not alone, all right? And I want you to know that, here on my channel, I really, really do work hard for us to have these meetings at least 3 times a week. We also, when we're doing our resentments and we're writing all these things down, we have to realize that a lot of the people that hurt us, they're sick too. They're spiritually sick. You know that saying that they say some are sicker than others? Well, us addicts and alcoholics, we have a program of recovery that we can heal with. People who are not addicts and alcoholics, they don't have this amazing program. They don't have a way to heal. They don't know the secret that we have. And so we can still we can heal and be happy and joyous and free. Okay? We have that option. Being an addict, we've lived two lives. We've been down at the very bottom, and now we're living our lives today sober and happy. You know what I'm saying? Thanks everybody for giving the video a thumbs up. I really appreciate everyone that does that. Thank you so much, you guys. So never be ashamed of being an addict, okay? Never be ashamed of what you went through, because your experience can help someone else. And it doesn't matter how small or big or whatever you think your experience was. There's always somebody out there that's been through what you've been through. I cannot tell you guys how many times I think, like, when I was over there on Texas Prison Stories, for example, I don't have a horrible prison story to tell. In fact, like I told on Texas Prison Stories, I was riding in the dryers like I was on a roller coaster. I don't have a horrible bad story to tell about my experience in prison. But that doesn't mean that my story can't help somebody. I went to prison behind drug charges. I went to prison behind my addiction, you know? And so a lot of us go to jail or prison for the same thing because of our addictions. So don't let shame tell you that you can't benefit others and help others with your story. And that's the hungry ghost. It's we use to maintain. We're not even surviving. We're barely even making it. It's like it's the most low level of living ever. But let me tell you this, okay? I know that if you're struggling with dual diagnosis, okay, if you're depressed, if you have anxiety and you're getting high, I'm telling you this, okay? I was the same way. And when I got sober, it took me about 2 years, you guys, to get my myself balanced out and to get myself on a good medication that helps me with my depression. And once I have been able to do that, it really has barely existing. Yes, girl. Ever since I was able to get on medication for my mental illness, you guys, that has saved my life. It has helped me so much because I really, really did struggle. You're not alone, and you don't have to struggle, and don't be ashamed to reach out for help. One of the things that I really get disgusted with seeing is the shaming of people who need medications, the shaming of people who need mental health medications, the shaming of people who, need maintenance medications. The world is such a people are so judgmental, and we're hard enough on ourselves. We don't need other people giving us a hard time. Do you know what I'm saying? Christian, my sister's bipolar, and actually, if you guys want to look, I have a video with my sister on my channel, and it's an interview with my sister, and it's all about her bipolar. So y'all should watch that. It was a good interview. I think we were on speakerphone or something, but it was still a good interview. Okay, so basically, we're fact finding, we're finding where we had been selfish, dishonest, self seeking, and frightened. We write all these things down. That's your fourth step. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole thing with you guys, but for the most part, you get the drift. And I just want you guys to know that through working this program and through working these steps, it can really benefit you in your sobriety, okay? So that's why I wanted to come on here and share all this with you guys today. Now, let me read this part to you. Okay, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. That's step 4. How instincts can exceed their proper function. Okay, step 4 is an effort to discover our liabilities. Basic problem of extremes and instinctiveness drives. Misguided moral inventory can result in guilt, grandiosity, or blaming others. Assets can be noted with liabilities. Self-justification is dangerous. Willingness to take inventory brings light and new confidence. Step 4 is beginning of a lifetime practice. You hear that? Oh, this is going to be a practice that you practice for your life, you guys. Okay? That way, because as you go through your life, you're going to incur more resentments. You're going to run into people that you may not get along with. You're going to do things that you maybe shouldn't have done. But as long as you have this program in place and you have you can work these steps, you can get rid of that shit. You ain't got to carry that stuff with you for the rest of your life. Oh, hey Leroy, thanks for the 20, man. Thank you so much. Y'all shout out Leroy. Thank you, baby. I really appreciate that, Leroy. I'll put that towards the card fund for our for the thing for my camera. Y'all want to see my camera? There's a bunch of you guys here. Y'all stay right there. Hold on. What you doing up here, Willis? Okay. Here it is, guys. It is a Canon EOS M50. You guys love it? It's touchscreen. It has a mic jack. It has HDMI. It has this lens. It's got everything, you guys. So I want to show that to y'all. Yes, Leroy, I really appreciate it, and I will. And as soon as I get the live card, y'all will see. Now, for those of you guys that are just coming in and maybe you don't understand what we're talking about, this is my new camera that I got. Nick from Hopeless to Hopeful got this camera for me so I could make better videos here on my channel. In order for me to use this camera so I can live stream, I have to buy a card. It's about $180, and it hooks up to my laptop and the camera, so that way I can use the camera to live stream, and it'll come, you know what I'm saying? So it'll be better quality. And so that's my next investment. And then we're going to be rocking and rolling with freaking 1080p, freaking 4K resolution, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what all of it means, but we're going to have that shit over here. I know, Christian. I literally cried my eyes out last night, you guys, for real. Just so you know, like, I am so grateful. Like, I am so grateful. Like I told Nick, I'll never be able to repay him because this gift is like a gift that's going to keep on giving because I can use it forever, you know? So, okay, step 4 is the beginning of a lifetime practice. Common symptoms of emotional insecurity are worry, anger, self-pity, and depression. Inventory helps review relationships and importance of thoroughness. So, I hope that you guys got a little bit out of tonight's step 4 meeting. I hope that if you were maybe on the fence or wondering about the 12 steps, that if that maybe helped you to understand a little bit more, maybe lit a little, fire inside of you to maybe try it out. Now, you guys know every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, we do have our Mara meetings here on my channel. And if you guys are on maintenance medications such as Suboxone, methadone, Sublocade, Vivitrol, any maintenance medications that are used to treat substance use disorder, butt up, man down. We do have those meetings on Friday nights, and Mara is my heart. I love it. I'm so excited for you guys to be here and experience it with me. Now, Friday night, what we're talking about is we're talking about overcoming shame. So, for those of you guys that are going through it, you're struggling with the shame, you think that you'll never be able to forgive yourself, you're going to want to be here Friday night. Now, if you want to get in where you fit in and learn how I'm choosing these topics, what I'm doing is I'm letting the people in my Patreon choose the topics for the Friday night Mara meetings. So if you guys want to join Patreon and kind of like be more involved on like the kind of content I do put out, you are all more than welcome to do that. The lowest tier I have is a $3 tier. I've been thinking about making a $1 tier. I might just go and do that. But anyway, that's a way that you can kind of join and like make the decisions on the content that I make for our meetings and stuff. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like ahead of time plan our Friday night meetings so that way they're well thought out, the topics are solid, and I have all the research and stuff that I need to really make it worth your while to be here on that Friday night meeting. So I hope you guys will enjoy it. I'm excited to bring it to you guys on Friday, and it's very interactive. You can call in. You can call in on my cell phone because I'll have the Real Talk Recovery phone line up. You can, of course, chat in the chat, but I want you guys to feel as comfortable as you want to call in and share and talk about your shame. And we're going to talk about how we're going to overcome shame together. And we're going to kick shame's ass because we ain't carrying shame around with us anymore because shame keeps you sick. Shame is unhealthy guilt. Okay? Okay. Okay. Now, I can't give it away because I'll sit here and tell the whole thing and then we won't have a meeting for Friday. Now, Wednesday night, we have a special guest coming on. So for those of you guys that like hearing people share their, stories of like triumph over adversity, Wednesday night we're gonna have dun 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 Nate Dog 916 on Real Talk Recovery at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I hope you guys will come and hang out with us. It'll be a live stream. So if you have questions for Nate Dog, you'll be able to ask him, and we're going to talk all about what happened with his perspective and all what happened to him when he was down for those 17 years and the decisions that we make, that take us to that level, and how he's living a positive life now and turning his life around today. So did you just hear me, Tim? Look at my camera, man. I didn't know you were still here. So that's what we're going to do on Wednesday. And like I said, you guys can comment, you can ask, you can talk. I mean, it's just real interactive, you guys. I'm super excited, and we're going to have a good time. He's real down to earth. He's just a good guy in general. So be here for that, y'all. I'm so excited. This is the bomb. When's the last time you guys have seen this many people in here that are like that are getting recovery support? So I'm super stoked, y'all. I'm like, this gets me so excited. I'm so passionate about helping other people, you guys. And I love you guys. I want to help make a difference in your life. I don't just come up here and talk shit to hear myself talking, okay? Like, these are my personal experiences. This is what I've went through. This is what I'm doing to heal and change my life today. I would never just come up here and talk about shit. Like, this is real life. So I love you guys, and I'll see you guys Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time with what? Nate Dog 916. Hey, Luca, can you DM me on Instagram? Yes, anytime you guys want me to talk about something, you can DM me on Instagram, or you can, if you're in the Discord, hit me up in the Discord, okay? Just so you guys know before I go, we have the Discord chat, we have the Facebook group, and you can talk to me on Instagram, and I have Patreon, okay? So all across the board, it's Real Talk Recovery, real_talk_recovery. Please go and subscribe to all my friends that were on the chat tonight. Tim, Texas Prison Stories, Nate Dog 916, Jimmy from Marijuana Maintenance, Nick from Hopeless to Hopeful, Jexy from According to Jexy. Lord help me, Jesus, there's so many people I can't even think of. There's so many of you guys, but let's all support each other. That's what YouTube is about. All right? All right. Bye, you guys.